Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. My name is Shahab Norouzian. I am an associate professor from Iran University of Science and Technology. So I was graduated from Ireland National University, from University College course when I studied electronics. And also I studied dual degree from a professional doctorate from business administration. So happy to be here and talk to you. Actually, I was living in the Western country in Ireland for nearly a decade. So before I come back to Iran to start to teaching in the university. So I think I can share with you some experience, my experience, not ideologically, but as a scientist to you, and talk to you about the Ayatollah Khamenei's personality, his civilization theories, and what he was doing in Iran, and he was leading Iran during one of the most critical historical period in Iran. So, and I think it is worth to talk about the situation. In my experience, if I tell you what Ayatollah Khamenei has done for Iran, actually he was trying to do a paradigm shift to Iran, and he changed Iran from the framework of the intellectual properties from Iran, from an imported models of governance to something that is based on national model, not the imported model. So this national model, and in this indigenous model, what I'm saying that this indigenous development model, it's based on three things: faith, knowledge, and resilience. So these three parts are what I'm saying. He was trying to connect them, and they are disseparatable. We cannot separate them, these three things. So in these things, faith become something, a framework for other two parts. The framework to help the knowledge and also to help the resilience and become independent. I see Ayatollah Khamenei as a philosopher who is trying to make a framework for Iran, to develop Iran from the country who was under sanctions, and he changed those to some opportunity for Iran. Those were he was not seeing the sanction as a dead-ended, I would say. So, but he saw that as an opportunity for us, for Iran. What's the opportunity? He was trying to make the science and technology and industrial either kind of breakthrough. And make the people more creative and help them to pass those very deadly sanctions. So I think that as a kind of philosophy, these philosophies mostly boast on the resilience and resistance. So what I already told you that. So those three, faith, knowledge, and resilience, they are kind of underlined, you know. Ayatollah Khamenei always trying to talk to the people, to the professor, to the students, to the academic members, to the academic people. So what I'm saying as an academic member, so he was trying not to just focus on what we are doing on education. He is saying that just try to focus on education, research, but what makes different, his view is different to the university, is that he was trying to tell the people, tell the academics, not to just limit yourself on the university walls, you know, just go to the society, just to society, to impact the society, to affect the society, and then bring up the society together with yourself. And it is very similar to what even in Western university they have. This very similarity on the we call it social society of this effect that university has. In Western universities we have different generation of the universities, education-based, research-based, entrepreneurship, and the society-based, And this is the fourth generation of the university. At the moment, the Western university is trying to trying to work on. But I'm saying that Ayatollah Khamenei from years ago, he was trying to tell the people, just focus on the effect, on the impact that university can do on the society. Normally, when we are talking about resilience, independence, people, mostly in the Western country, just change their mind to the waging war, to the kind of very heart attacks, What based on my experience in both Western country and Iran, when I came to Iran, I can assure you that he was not, his idea about resilience was not about the waging war. Instead, he was trying to tell the resilience just to not to bow on the Western powers, the power of this hegemony of the kind of power. That's the resilience, and that's kind of different from what the Western people, Western audience, maybe they think about this. So this ideology might be kind of familiar for Western countries and Western audience, because for some people, so once they are familiar with post-colonizations, the framework is very similar to what was doing after post-colonization. But the main difference is the face that we have, and this is making the most important difference between our resilience and what was happened during the post-colonization in the West. Ayatollah Khamenei tries to contact the youth in the Western country 2 times, and he sent 2 letters to the youth in the West and trying to talk to them as a people who are keen to find the truth. The youth in the West, in my experience, they are trying and they are very keen to find the truth. But what is happening there is the media and the information they are getting is mostly from filtered media, from some very short videos and some, not direct touch and not direct news. So that might bias them from what we are doing and what we are saying. That. So what Ayatollah Khamenei told them that, please, once you want to know about the Islam, just go directly and read and see the original sources, not what the media is saying. So, and in this case, you will find what we are saying. That so, one of the most important things that the media changed the mind of those youth people is a terrorism. So it's part of the letter that Ayatollah Khamenei wrote to those young people about the terrorism, as he was actually saying that we are all victim of terrorism. We are all not just Western country, but also we as a Muslim country, and we are, the original victim and the biggest victim of the terrorism. Which terrorism? The terrorist, which was created by some of those power who are controlling the media. So that's what the Ayatollah Khamenei is trying to tell these people. Once they know the truth, and then knows the reality, we think and then we believe that they will change their minds. after that letter, and after what happened in Gaza, in Lebanon, in Iran, people in the world got alerted. What is going on? What is going on here? Our government is saying something, but what is happening is something different. So, and they trying to find something exactly what Ayatollah Khamenei told them. They trying to find the news directly from the people, directly from the media, not from those hegemonic media, those hegemonic countries like America. So they're trying to find these news. That's why we are seeing some movements in the Western country during the Gaza war, during the Iranian war. With America, we saw some movements in America, in London, in Paris, lots of movements. So I'm very optimistic of these movements, because Ayatollah Khamenei, what was his project? It was some kind of liberation project. See, what I'm saying that is a liberation civilization project. So this project is not just for the governance, Well, it is about the civilization, and the civilization is not just limited to Iran itself. When we are talking about the state, when we are talking about the governance, so it might be just limited to the Iranian world. But what he was talking about Tamaddun Islami, Islamic civilization. So this Islamic modern civilization, his ideology, as a philosopher, what I'm saying that, so that brings all people together, that unite those people, Muslim people, Jewish people, Christians, and all peoples who are concerned about the liberation, about the civilization, about the reality. So that makes these people move, and that makes people united on this axis, I would say. You see, before this war, I was seeing some interviews, some videos, short videos, medias. To be honest, most of the people in the world, they might not know Iran. So they didn't know Iran. Where is Iran? Maybe they didn't know the difference between Iran and Iraq, and so sometimes they're confusing about this. But what happened during the war, they killed our leader. They did something very bad to us, and we are very sad about it. But what happened? They turned the lights, shined the light on Iran. So the people on the world just alerted what is going on in Iran. So, and the news just turned to Iran. And then once you have the news, you have the media, and once you have to know the reality. And that makes a many big difference. And I think that makes Iran's position, international position on the people's mind is much better situation than ever, I would say. Actually in Islam, and especially in Shia, we find this as a very special occasion, very special event, this tashi, we call it farewell. So it's a very special. It's a kind of socialism itself. So and civilization is kind of another kind of civilization, and gather people together to mourn together, to make the sand together. So that makes itself the people united again, And this, what I'm saying, unification is united, is not just belong to even Iranian people, not Shia people. I see some Muslims, lots of Muslims around the world, they're very angry, they're very sad about what is happening, and they want to engage, and they want to come here to attend this event, this tashi. Maybe they cannot come. I would say this event is not even just belong to the Muslim people. Every people who are, I would say, connected to this project, the project of liberational, civilizational project that's Ayatollah Sayyid Ali Khamenei was trying to conduct. they are united around this event. The project, I would say, is a kind of active independence, استقلال فعال we call it. So what Western model was trying to do is conduct a model, and every country, every culture should obey, should follow that model. This is what the Western country and those hegemony are trying to conduct. But I would say the most important legacy that Ayatollah Khamenei has, he changed that mind. He changed that model. And he was saying that the most important word about the project is that he was saying that we may have some shares, but if the model is working with the Western country, it's not necessarily working with Iran, it's not necessarily with another nations and another cultures. So every culture and every nation should have their own model for governance, for civilization, and that's I would say most important legacy that he had, not just for Iran, for the whole world. That we see lots of countries, independent countries, they are trying to follow what he was trying to conduct that project. I can tell my counterpart, my colleagues around the world, especially in the Western country, not to just limit themselves and limit the information they are getting to the media, to the circulated media and ordinary news that they are watching. Just go deeper and see Ayatollah Khamenei as a kind of the leader was conducting the civilization, the scholar who was trying to help the education, trying to see the society. So as a scholar, as a philosopher who has this philosophy of the changing those model, the Western model for independency, for those liberation or civilization project that I would say. So just there are different frameworks that people can see Iran, and especially Ayatollah Khamenei, who was leading this main project. So just focus on this reality and find the truth through their deep research on what is going on. And I think, and then thinking about what they are doing in West, their research, their work. Am I working for the hegemony who are against the civilization? Or am I trying to follow the ideology was trying to make independence, make the liberation civilization? So, and I think that helped them a lot to find the truth and find their right way. You see what the American and Israelis was trying to do. They thought if they kill Ayatollah Khamenei, then this Islamic revolution, this civilization, I would say, will end it. But what we saw that what Ayatollah Khamenei's legacy, it was not just ended project. It is a current, it's a current, it is fluencing, and it will not end it, he saw the revolution not as an ended project, as a kind of something which is very fluent and ongoing project and will not end it. So this ongoing project, so we see that another Ayatollah Khamenei is coming, and he's definitely follow up that project. But most importantly, he's younger, he's following that one, And we see, even because that thing is not just depend on the person itself. It's a kind of movement. It's a big movement. You know, this movement will not be ended and will not be stopped. So this is what we are seeing in Iran. Even, you know, you see the declaration of the second phase of Islamic revolution that Ayatollah Khamenei wrote to the people. So on that we can see that he was thinking about 40 years later. So this 40 years later, definitely he was predicting that he was not there. So someone else there. To be honest, I was not thinking that in the second phase, Ayatollah Shahab Khamenei will go and lead this project, this main project. But once he come, and people got relaxed, honestly speaking, after he was killed, after Ayatollah Khamenei was killed, people are very angry, very sad. They didn't know what is going on in Iran, what will happen to this project, because we knew that this is a big project, that he told us that's a big project and we are going. So, and once Ayatollah Sayyid Mujtaba Khamenei became a leader, it's kind of a relaxation, and people got very happy, very relaxed. We saw that all. So we are assured that Ri's movement is ongoing and it will not stop. Honestly speaking, personal meeting, I didn't have those personal meeting, which we call it. Yes, I was going to Imam Khomeini Mosque. He was during the Ramadan, so I was going there and he was coming. But one time during the Ramadan, for iftar, yeah, I was very close to him, And what I was saying, that he was very shiny, he was very kind, smiley, and I don't forget that moment. Khamenei is Khamenei. I cannot, you know, he was someone very different, you know, someone different. If we, you know, if different, you know, his personality is very special. You can see him through the window of knowledge, scholar, philosophy. Whatever you are trying to see him, you find him very special man, you know. He's, you know, wrote in poetry. He was very smart. He was trying to make this big framework. So, and I think that's make him historically very special man. He's historically very special man. Maybe at the moment, we and the people in the world, they don't know him deeply. But I'm sure that in the future, this understanding will be deeper, and the people will know him much more, and they will like him much more than today. To truly grasp his legacy, you have to engage with his civilizational projects. A project dedicated to building a world that is more just, more independent, and more human, free from dictates of either Western or Eastern hegemonies. That is the man we are bidding farewell today.